Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Karak Chat Podcast. Today is episode 13, and I just want to give you a small apologies about the audio of the episode. We realized after recording that there was a bit of static sound in some of the audio part, so do bear with us. I'm sorry about that. We're trying to be as professional as we can. This is not a Netflix production, so again, sorry. But like and subscribe to us. Support our guest Loma. It was a wonderful episode, very fun, jolly episode. I know you guys are gonna enjoy it. And honestly, if you just close your eyes and listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcast, you won't even realize there's an audio issue. So have fun, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, let's start.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome everyone to a new episode at Karak Chat Podcast. Today we are being joined by someone who's been into very different places: UK, Sweden, Qatar, and now Dubai. Yes, I've done my homework.
He does the homework mostly.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by Loma, who's a digital content manager. I think I got that right.
Yeah.
Michelle, you want to ask your signature
Yes.
question?
How are you doing today, Loma?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the podcast and lovely Karak. Yeah.
So, normally, are you a Karak fan? Do you have Karak's tea, or no? You're more of a coffee person.
I'm definitely a coffee person. And if I do have it, it will be without sugar. So this one is gonna give me.
we had this discussion.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
We had this discussion before
No, but
the
it's
podcast.
good. I do. Sometimes it's needed. But yes, I'm gonna be bouncing.
For health reasons, or is it complete something else too?
No, I'm Iraqi, so we have sugar with a bit of tea. That's how we take our tea. Black tea, though, what you call Suleimani tea, right? But for health reasons, I cut it out, and then after you cut out sugar, you can't. Once you stop, you feel like it's too much, and
Well, every podcast is a learning session for us. So for our next guest, thanks to you, we know how to order our Karak and how to serve it to them. So
I think
Yeah,
Karak
we-
is Karak, and
I
exactly.
know. Karak without sugar
is not Karak.
I mean,
It's
so.
not Karak.
hopefully by next
Yeah.
episode we'll be sponsored by this brand over here.
Yes.
So, if you're watching this, our guests would like to have some property. So how about,
And
help it out.
please reply to my messages, please.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't sound desperate right now, man.
What did we talk about yesterday?
Yes, okay. I told you we are not
Hey, what is this? What
we are
happened
not
yesterday?
discussing our conversations over
I'm
here.
not saying anything.
Even this.
Give it the audience some context.
No.
Even I'm lost. They're lost.
No. So it's basically all the ladies, they try to refine me.
How to refine you?
Yeah, yes. They give me advices, and I take those advices and refine myself as much as I can. And Loma has been a big part of it.
Mm.
In
Some might say a mentor, but
a mentor. Yes, on how to behave and how to approach. And
That's why you've been very, more gentlemanly this year.
no.
No?
When did you observe? I was never gentleman with you.
No, of course not with me.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So
Okay.
maybe that's the reason. Yes, Loma is one of the reasons. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of making it about you. How about you tell us something about her?
About her. Okay. Yeah. This is I can never describe a person, so I can never talk about a person. But how should I say? Loma is
Okay, how about you keep thinking? I'll ask one of the questions.
yes. That's very true.
ask me.
So, the jobs in Dubai. So, how tough is it to get jobs in Dubai, and such jobs? You took some names of some good brands out there, international brands out there. So, is it tough?
I think it's once you get in, it's easy. Then you get headhunted, or you can apply and it'll be recognized. It's the first job, and then admittedly the first job in Dubai was through a contact, and I think that's a lot. That's the experiences for a lot of people. Networking and contacts is number one, but I think it's not everything. It might put you in the door for the first job, and then your name or your experience will speak for itself.
I want to dial it back a bit. You know, you've been to so many countries. Which has been your best place so far? Which would be like, you know what? If I had a chance, I'd just stayed there.
No, I don't think I have no regrets in the way I've moved. But Dubai will never be home. So I go back very regularly to my family live in Sweden, and I go home every summer. I would never go back in winter, and I would never ever move back to Sweden. Qatar, as I said, it's a no. There's two options for me that I see. Moving back to the UK, we have a house there, so you know. I immediately at that time, this was 13 years ago, I felt at home. I know things have changed after Brexit and things are not going in the right direction. But that's an option. But my second option is completely different. Last two holidays or last two winters, I've holidayed in Zanzibar and I've really grown to like it. It's very chilled, very nice, warm, beautiful country, beautiful island, beautiful people. And I've been thinking of, you know, when my kids go off to university, which is not very far off, 3 years for Maya, 7 years for Sarah. That is what I want to do. I want to take my laptop. I want to open small Airbnb type of resort. And
You know, you're not the first person who's spoke about Zanzibar like this. I have another friend of mine, and he also visited Zanzibar a couple of times, and he was also like, you know what, like that's my end goal. Like I want to just settle in Zanzibar, open a boutique hotel for myself. What's there in Zanzibar that's attracting you all? Like, how is it so attractive?
well, it's a bit of a push and pull, I would say. I think once, and this is not just Dubai, but I think in general, but because my latest work experience and life experience has been in Dubai, it's so very fast paced. It's so very fast paced. So when you do go to a place like Zanzibar, I'm sure Maldives, like island life, and you slow down. For me, it was a revelation. For me, it was this is what life is about. This is now going times 1. What we were experiencing in Dubai is time 2.3. It's very fast paced, and I don't think it's sustainable in the long run to be going at that pace. You gotta hit a wall at some point. So, and I think when I talk to my kids and give them advice about, you know, work and stuff, and I always say, don't tie yourself to a country. Like, you want to study law, yes, but study, you know, their jurisdiction.
Don't get attached too much to it.
Yeah, like, yeah, don't limit yourself. Don't study in Sweden because then you can only practice law in Sweden. UK law falls under a lot of, you can practice it here, but also international law, you know, something that doesn't limit you. And we live in a nomad. I think you can, in a globalized society where we can work and we can travel and we can, you know, don't tie yourself. So that's the takeaway. Like, a job you can take with you anywhere and just slow down, and we don't have to live in this rat race of chasing the next big. Because as well, in Dubai, we keeping up with the Joneses, right? And then you want to have the nice house, you want to have the nice car, you want to, and that comes with a price tag. So therefore you need to earn, therefore you need to, you know, continue to chase that promotion or that, you know, the next thing. And I think if we don't need the material, you know, proof of success, then we don't need to live in the rat race. And I think, yes, there are beautiful houses in Zanzibar, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm literally looking for not to have to put on a pair of shoes again. I'll walk around in my flip-flops and and just be, and yeah, be at peace, be, the simple life. So it that's what attracts me to it. And yeah, inshallah, one day.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said Dubai is so fast paced and and we compared it with Zanzibar, and let's come back to Dubai and like how, I would say, how challenging is it to live in Dubai, work in Dubai, and what are the challenges that you face because you're a mother of two? Two girls, I would say. So how challenging is it?
I would say Dubai for a family is not that challenging, and the challenges comes with it's an expensive place to live, and obviously you need to provide to be able to schooling and housing and all of that. But I think Dubai gives, I mean, especially as a single mother, I can afford help, and my kids are on the bus, and it's actually one of the easier places to live and the safest. You mentioned I have two girls. That's why I will be here until, I want to be here until they're grown up. At some point, obviously, when they go off to university, they're not, they're going to go
until
off.
they are independent. They can be independent. They can be by themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for the time being, there's, I would say, no better place to bring up a family.
That's true.
So that's not a challenge. That's an advantage.
It's a very much an advantage, and that's why I say I'm here for at least another 8 years because I value whatever I can give my kids and not having to worry about their way to school or when it gets dark or them being in a taxi. You've got Kareem, and you can it's the safety aspect is very important. Yeah.
All right. Okay. And let's drill down a little bit more. How would you say about raising two kids in Dubai as a whole? From because you're taking care of their schooling, you're trying to nurture them, and plus you have a job as well, right? Yeah. So how are you managing all of it?
No, it takes a village to raise a child, and I would agree with that. I'm not going to say that I'm a super mom because I'm not doing it alone. Angie is super helpful. I have actually, my brother is staying with me at the moment, and he, if I need him to pick up from after school club, and he'll do that. And their friends, I think. Their friends' families have become almost like families to us, and when their friends come and sleep over, or my kids go and sleep over, I think Dubai brings that because everybody are expats, and not everybody has family here. So friends, your friends become much closer, I think, in Dubai than in any other place. And their friends definitely are closer. I feel like that my friends were when I was a kid. They were friends, but I feel like their friends walk into my house as if nothing, and they'll eat me out of the house, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So, but the challenge, I think, is because I work long hours. I come home and I have an amazing help, and maybe she does a bit too much for them, and you still want to strike a balance between them being taken care of and being spoiled. It's a Dubai thing. I try to, during, and my mom would tell me, your kids, because I usually drop my kids off to Sweden in the summer, pick them up at the end of the summer, or we'll spend, a longer period there. And my mom likes to tell me, yes, your kids are spoiled. They don't pick up after themselves. They don't, So that's one of the, when you send your kids to, not a prison camp, but, a camp to teach them manners. I don't know. I feel like that's what I'm doing when I send my kids home a bit, but I mean, it's striking balance. I always tell them to and Sundays and Saturdays when my nanny isn't working, They do the dishes. I mean, albeit they'll fight about it, and we all end up arguing. But I've tried to keep them grounded that way. But no doubt, when they go off to university, they will be in for a shock.
Yes, for sure. And this is what, like, because Zian, you can also be part of this conversation. But,
Thanks, man.
no, as in like what I'm going to start next, because I want to understand your point of view as well. Because you've studied in Saudi, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and then your kids are studying, like, I think from the start they have been here already, right? And you have done your education in Sweden.
Yeah.
I've done mine in India. Like, I don't know about Sweden, but like, you know, like like I think it's very safe over here that they don't learn much about the world. Yes. And then it becomes very challenging for them to go out and like, and to, I would say, adjust to the ways of the world. How was it for Zian? And like, you know, I would like to hear from you as well.
Yeah, for me, I think, I mean, growing up in Saudi, I would see my dad struggle a lot in terms of, you know, coming from Pakistan and like him, like, you know, I want to do the best for my family. But my mom always protected me and my sister from that. You know, it's like, okay, no, we're living a really good life. And I was spoiled. Like, you know, she would clean my room. She would tell me to do it. I won't do it. And she'd be like, okay, do it this way. Whatever I wanted to eat, I'll get it. And when I moved here for uni, back in 2014, I was 17 years old in an apartment. I was like, okay, what do I do now? Like, the only thing I've done is like help my mom clean, but I've never really done it myself or cook. And bus coming at 6 a.m. for uni. I was living in Sharjah, the first city. I think my parents
Your
just
mom
dropped me
is
off.
not waking you up.
My mom's not, I mean, she would call me at 5 a.m. Yeah, she was like, okay, wake up. Till now, she does that sometimes. Because she knows I'm kind of very lazy and useless on that part. But, you know, when I came back home and I was like, okay, I'm going to clean my best. And my parents were visiting me from Saudi once. And I called my friend and I listen, I've been cleaning my house for 8 hours. I think I've done it. Can you come and check? And he comes up, he's like, man, it looks clean. My mom walks in 2 hours. She's like, how are you living like this? And I'm like, what do you mean? This is so clean. And then she started cleaning. And my house looked different. I've never seen my house. I've seen I was like, man, this part, I didn't know that existed. But I was very spoiled. And I guess like living alone made me realize what my parents have done and like how to actually be more mature in terms of paying bills on time. Because I used to be very late on that, cooking, buying groceries. So it was difficult. I was in that protected environment or in a cloud. And I think that was tough when I lived alone. Even though it's in Dubai, things are very easy. You can just open an app, do things. So I think that still made life very easy. Because I remember I went to Montreal with my friends, and it was difficult. It was very difficult. I was like, man, where am I? Groceries closing at 7 p.m. Metros, I'm not understanding where to go, left, right. No one's helping. Everyone's speaking French. And I'm like, yeah, I can't. I just can't. So yeah.
Yeah, so like, aren't we like, because even I think about like, okay, I'm very far away from the whole like things because first I need to get married and then I'll have kids. But like, you know, raising kids is such a big challenge, and like Dubai gives so much of luxury that if they have to go out and survive in that outside world, I feel that like they are kind of like, it's very challenging for them, like. And it takes time to adjust.
So the feeding themselves and cleaning, I'm not worried about that because I want to first of all, I am preparing them somehow. But secondly, I think, you know, university days are, you know, you live in dorms. It might not be the cleanest. You'll eat pot noodles, and that's okay. That's not my worry. I'm raising 2 girls, so when they go off to university, and my eldest now is looking at Sweden or UK, is the safety. I mean, and it gets dark, you know, at 4 in the winter, and you can't walk in a park. It's, you know, as a girl alone, and that's where I think is going to be my big worry as a mom, and letting go and things. I have tried. I mean, last summer, when they went to Sweden in the summer, I bought them train cards for the month, and My parents live in a small village, and it's relatively safe. But then, they have to take the train into town if they want to go to the library or whatever. But I thought this is an excellent opportunity. They're 14 and 10. Let me let them go out by themselves here. And I came back. I had work, so I was working in Dubai, and they were with my parents. And so I get a call. Mama, we are on the train, but it's saying a different stop. So they went on the other side to the other town. I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry. Just get off the train, go under the passage, and take the train that comes. Okay, they were panicking, but yes, it's a learning opportunity, right? And then she called me. She's like, it's so scary. There's graffiti everywhere, and it smells of urine. And I'm like, welcome to Europe. And, and this is still in the village. This is not in the big towns. This is not in Stockholm or Göteborg or, and this is summer where it's going to be light till 11 p.m. It's not winter. So these small things, I'm trying to, teach them, and not, leaving your phone out and not, but I struggle with that as well. I'm so used to the safety of here that I leave my phone and my car keys and stuff. When I go home to Sweden, like, I've lost, Yeah. So many times that, here you misplace something, it will come back to you. You go ask security, even if, they'll find it for you. There, 2 minutes. I left a pair of Ray-Ban glasses in the changing room. I came out, they were gone. There's no way.
That is true. Yeah.
So, they'll get used to it eventually. I don't want to say it's a Dubai growing up thing, because if you're here for 6 months, you get used to the safety.
I think, because I think that Dubai spoiled me like that too. Because I was in Pakistan once visiting my friend, and I was meeting her for coffee. And for me, I'm like, okay, I found a table, I'll put my wallet down. I went there, and then everyone's just looking at me, right? Like, what is this exact doing? And my friend's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what? She's like, where's your wallet? I was like, it's on the table. He's like, where are you? I was like, in Duncan. He's like, which city are you in? I was like, Karachi. He's like, yeah, get your wallet. I was like, oh my God. But it's just that you get so used to the safety. It's just so different, like transition. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges I've faced. I'm not sure about Michelle coming from India, how it was for you.
No, because I've been here only for 5 years, right? So yes, I'm still rooted to my whatever I've learned over there, and the ways of India. Because even here, I don't leave things around. Like I keep it with me. But yes, now I'm getting spoiled a little bit. I leave my house open. I don't lock it anymore. Most of the times. Yes, I leave my phone and wallet just on the table, and I go. If I have to use the washroom, I just use the washroom. Yeah, so I'm getting spoiled a little bit, but I can see that the transition happening. But yes, and plus, by the way, I'm very scared of my dad. So anything I do, I think of my dad. So if I'm going back home, and even if I leave a wallet or phone somewhere, I think of my dad first. And every action or reaction is.
Oh wait, you said you're scared of your dad. So is it like of being afraid, or is it your moral compass, your guidance?
He's both. He is like my dad is. He is okay. So he is a moral compass. So I look up to him in every part of my life, like any actions that I have to take. But then also the way we have been raised is in a very strict environment.
You're beaten up.
And of course, that was up till a certain age, and then my dad once came to me and he told me, I don't remember what specific age. It was like, I'm not going to beat you anymore. I'm not going to lay my hands on you anymore, because now you're grown up. And the way I'll treat you is going to be different, even if you make any mistakes. And after that...
Wait. At that point, did you get the, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed, which is even worse than being beaten up?
Oh, yes, it is. Even now, because, yes, he gets angry, and that is much more scarier than getting beaten up, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, when your parents are angry at you, like, okay, slap me and get done with it, right? You know, like you would get that feeling. Now it's not that, like, you know, they're angry, and like you have to wait until they like let it out and they tell you like what they are angry about and what have you done, right? So it is much more scarier. And but he said, like, you know, if I don't do it, who else will do it? Like, you're my kid, and I don't care what the other person is thinking, but I have to make sure that you're doing the right thing there, because when you are away from me, when you're away from that nest, this nest, you have to survive in the world. I have to make sure that you survive. And I
So
have to
it
make sure.
actually worked because you do think of him.
Yes, I do
and
think
he-
of him in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
When
So
I'm-
you appreciate the strict.
Yes, I do
childhood.
appreciate. And even now, it is even worse. Now we have grown up, right? Now we see worse. Now he just doesn't scold us. He can scold anyone in the room. Like, you know, even if it's some random person, he did a mistake, he would be like, why did you do that? Like, and he would just get angry at him. But on the other side, he's also a very fun person. Like, when my friends come in, he served them liquor and he never asked me, like, you know, come, let's have a drink. He never did that. But he served each and every friend of mine liquor, sat with them, had a friendly conversation.
Without you there.
With me there.
Yeah,
I was the one serving alcohol.
Oh, but you didn't get to.
Yes. And I was sitting there. I got them ice and alcohol and
Wait,
everything.
you didn't get to have it with them?
No. That's that. I think that's something like it's kind of a respect thing. Like, you know, I shouldn't be having drinks in front of my dad until and unless he invites me.
Oh, so he didn't invite you. He invited your
and
friends to do
I'm
it.
very much sure that he'll invite me when he'll think that I'm worth inviting.
Has that happened yet?
Yes, no.
No?
No. So
I get a
yes.
Godfather vibe here. It's like, until I'm worthy. But I think it will happen, you know, in a very special day, the day before your wedding. And he's like, no.
Maybe.
Now you
or
become a
no,
man.
he doesn't expect.
That's
No.
that point, the day before his wedding. That's like long.
Yeah.
take some
I don't
time.
see it coming anytime soon.
No. I think he had specific expectations from me in life, which I have not lived up to yet. No, but his disappointment comes from a place because he never was about like, he was very confident that I would have a good career. So he was like, look, I've never asked you about, and this, he put it in front of me. And I don't know why I'm sharing this. It's a very emotional conversation.
Okay, man, go on.
But he put it in front of me saying that, like, you know, look, and like we were talking, like, and it was like 2 years back or something. I still remember it. He was like, look, I've never asked you about your grades. I've never asked you like how your college went or how your university was or schooling was or anything. But the only thing that I've asked you is a fit body. Yes. Because he is very fit himself. And he knows, like he said, like, I know you'll do good in career because you're my blood. You'll do good in life and everything.
Yeah.
But all I have ever asked you is a fit body. Yeah. Which I couldn't give him. So one
What do you
day...
mean couldn't give him? This is not something you give him, but wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is emotional one.
Yeah,
It's
so...
okay. You'll get there with the gymming you've been doing recently.
Yes, so... Oh, by the way, like... by the way, no. To motivate me, he has gone to that level as well. Like, does anybody, like any girl come and sit with you? Like, you know, he has gone to that level also, like, you know, to just motivate me.
So that generation, yes, they do the tough love. They do the tough love
Yes,
approach.
yes.
Nowadays, we can't discipline. We know that's not the
Yeah,
way.
we cannot do that now. Yeah, I get it.
No, I mean, when my kids, I mean, sometimes they come home and they brought a bad report or whatever. I can't say, no, that's not good enough. I'm like, well done, well tried. You know, you did your best. I mean, you know, but what can we do better? But that generation, they will give it to you straight. And to be honest, it's I think it has caused a lot of trauma within us. We do try to break that trauma with our kids, but I know it's just a different trauma we're giving them by being overly cushiony. overly protective, overly because I do think that sometimes they need reality checks. I had a moment the other day where I was trying to, I had a moment where I should, in my opinion, I should have been angry. I should have shown my anger. But because I also have been young, I saw the funniness in the situation, and there was a dilemma within me. How do I discipline somebody? How do I be a parent at the same time as I've been a kid and I've done this and I've done that? And then I decided, okay, I'm going to play it. I'm going to do I'm disappointed in you. I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. Which actually, it's not a way. It's not a way because I think it plays very much into people's insecurities when you give them the silent treatment, first of all. Decided I'm not going to do that. Either I'll show full on I'm angry, or I'll leave it, and there's not going to be any consequences. I can't do that, I'll give them the silent treatment and I'll show my disappointment, and then once I've figured it out. So I don't know quite what is the way. I'm trying to figure out between our parents' way of parenting, which was very much straight on, and the new Western. I don't know what fueled that generation's anger, because I could literally take some of that anger and make something out of it.
No, but I don't think so, because in my case, I think it wasn't anger, it was more of disappointment, because my dad would compare what, in that specific age, what he was, suppose, he got married in 23 or 24, and it was a complete arranged marriage thing, right? And by the age of 30, I was born. When he was 30, I was born already. And for me, there was my elder sister. So, he would compare at every age. At the age of 30, I had 2 kids. You get it? So he would, and even then, back when we were kids, he would compare, what I was when I was his age, right? And I think it's just more of, a disappointment, or I'm not angry, I guess.
30, even women, and women generally, they're now taking, nobody has kids below the age of 30, right? And guys usually at 40. I don't know what the medium age is, but there's no comparison between that age and this age, right? I had Maya when I was 25. Would I expect her? Absolutely not, to have kids and do not get married until you're at least 30, kids later on, 35. But I can't tell her what to do, but that is I'm not going to say expectations, because that's another expectation that we really shouldn't put on our children, right? But it's a different generation and a different life and different, life was so much simpler. You could afford to get married. You cannot afford to get married and have kids and a house and all of that at 25 these days. You're still building yourself. You're still trying to figure out what you want in life. You still, I'd say I'm 40. I still haven't figured out, what is the point of all of this? Yes. No, I have. I'm just postponing it for another 7 years, and then I'm like, okay, this is the point of life. I'm gonna sit on this beach, and then but the rat race, it really puts you in a headspace that, and nothing else matters, right, at this point. So why are we in a hurry to have? Why are you in a hurry? Why is your dad in a hurry for you to get married and have kids?
No, he's not in a hurry for me to get married, I guess. No, that's the whole Indian thing, dad and parents.
Do you have the same pressures?
I'm already married.
Oh, you are?
And I'm 26.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
So that was pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another friend of ours got married as well, and he's 26 as well. So, yeah, two of them.
But yeah, but I also think like again, it's like a Daisy thing where guys are supposed to get married in an early age.
Early age, yeah.
And even with my parents, they were like, why don't you just, like live your life with your spouse, enjoy it? Why do you want to just stay alone doing nothing? Because I've been alone since 2014 now. They're like, man, you're living alone in a country without family back. You have cousins here, but fine. But like, have someone, build a family, go travel the world with her. That was their idea. And at first I was like, no, maybe no. And then I was like, you know what, why not? And I mean, I found the one. I feel like she's the one. And yeah, we speak a lot. It's like right now she's not here. She's finishing her studies, but I think it's just good chemistry. And I was like, yeah, I'm happy with it. So it feels good. I'm still doing my own career thing, figuring that part out, and she's being supportive about that. So that's good. So I think it just depends, to each their own. To each their own. Different story, different journey. With him,
I think I'm just looking for a love story, man.
You're looking for something, but I don't know what that is. Yeah,
so I'm just think I'm just in my own fairyland now. I think like that, and Dreamland, I would say.
I mean, you're taking advice from your mentor, so hopefully.
Yeah, they asked me to get out of my dreamland, by the way.
No. Romance isn't dead, and keep that thought in your mind. I don't kill the dream.
Again, this podcast is becoming about me. It's about you, Loma. Just to let you know.
I think we're learning from your mentor. That's good. Good content.
I said that. I said the mentor thing. I was a joke. Please don't include that.
If anyone wants a mentor in love life, please do contact her. I want you to put your mom on. I want you to give advice to all the single moms out there. Like, whoever is struggling to, thinking, okay, should I go back to work? Should I not go back to work? Just thinking about their future. What would you tell them if you had?
I think you do what you need to do for the survival, right? That's number one thing. There's no shame in anything that you do for the sake of your children. Like there's no, you go back to work. There's a lot of guilt in being a mom in general. You're a stay-at-home mom, you feel guilty because you see the working moms and you're a working mom and this is where I am. I feel incredibly guilty for missing school things and not being able to do some after school activities because I can't do drop off and pick up, or to have, as some people would judge, oh, you have a nanny to take care of your kids and things. No, I do that because I have to, and I'm, to provide. I mean, my ex is in the picture, and he's, an amazing support for the girls and everything. But you are the one person that, you need to make sure everything goes around, right? So, I don't know what advice, because every person's situation is different, but I think just as long as you put, there's no regret. I mean, you do what you need to do for the sake of your kids, but also the mom guilt, and I'm so not the right person to say this because I feel guilty all the time, but you need to take a step back and you need to...
About what?
Guilty about not spending enough time with my kid, and but I've realized that taking me time is so important. So even if you do go out, take a massage, or go to the beach by yourself, or take 5 minutes before you actually step in, and that's sometimes all it takes is that drive home from work to home, and you sit 10 minutes in your car before you go in, before you do the big breathe in, and you continue, the second phase of your day, which is being a mom and all of that. Take those moments and don't feel guilt about it. Until I learned that, I was feeling, it was a rat race. That in itself, I've said rat race a lot today, both in terms of work, but also it's a rat race at work to get things done. But there's another life when you're a mom and you come home. There's another rat race and getting through to bedtime and all of that. So having those moments, catching moments between moments, they're very important.
Not laying down fathers by saying this, because yes, father are a part of their kid's life, but mom are the most important part of their kids' life, like, because they have to be involved in each and everything from the start. So it is very difficult, I would say, that, because my mom is a working mom as well, and she's been to school, like she was a teacher. She is a teacher even now. And like,
One of the hardest,
yes, and
most
which, yes, and she's with kids all the time. Then she comes home, and then she's with us all the time. So it is one of the hardest job, and any job is hard, but yes. And also, like, and at one point it came to a thing that, you, like, she said she was going to join the schools where we have joined. So from a certain age in our school life, we were like, my mom used to, in fact, my mom taught me, like, like she was my class teacher for a year or so. So yes, so we have been like that. And yes, it's tough. It's tough to be a mom and to work and to do something for yourself, and, like, to also, like, manage your kids and give them love that they need. Yeah.
Do you want to ask for something else before we go to the ending?
Nothing, but yes, the question that you asked me in the start. So I would just say 3 words about Loma, like, hardworking, a very beautiful person, and emotionally intelligent. So she's a mixture of these 3 words, I would say.
And then he says he gets bullied, but yeah. But anyways, well, I think one last question, which a normal question is, how would you define success, and do you feel you're almost there?
How do I define success? I know what I don't define as success, which is the monetary, the position. What I want, on my headstone, or even, I just want people to say she was a good person and she made me feel special or happy. Or, I mean, the first 2 people that I want, to are my 2 kids. And if they're proud and if they're happy, and if I somehow inspired them, that for me is being successful. Not just as a mom, but as a person, and in general, I feel like
It's
in
a way
terms
you're
of
leaving a good impact.
making people feel good when they met you, and after that, it's not a feeling of I'm not enough, or that sort of thing. That's I would define as a successful person that leaves an imprint in people.
Wow.
Good definition.
Good definition. Yeah.
I hope she left a good imprint on you as well.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
It's okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Loma, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. It was lovely talking to you both, and the Karak was very good. I'm not going to say Karak chai, that's TT, but the Karak was good.
And I hope the sponsor is soon. But everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed learning about Vishal a lot.
Getting me bullied, yeah.
And we'll see you in the next episode.